Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobby Capucci, and this is Daily Drop number 39. Hope everybody's having a great night. We have a couple of articles tonight. The first one is going to be from the Washington Examiner, and the second one is going to be from the New York Post. The one from the Examiner, we're going to keep following the thread of the ABC situation. Who is the whistleblower? ABC is on complete meltdown mode right now, freak out mode, going straight Gestapo, trying to figure out who Ignotus is. So far, no luck for them. But we're going to read this article and see some of their tactics, I guess, some of the different ways they're going about trying to flush out the whistleblower. It's ironic, isn't it? Out of one side of their mouth, they tell us about whistleblowers and how they're noble and how they need to be respected. And out of the other side of their mouth, when the whistleblower is aimed towards them, it's a whole different ballgame, right? Once again, they have one set of rules. You and I have another set of rules. This first article from the Examiner, the headline is, "They are freaking. ABC News executives still trying to out Epstein whistleblower." ABC News executives are still working to find out who leaked the video of ABC News anchor Amy Robach admitting the network spiked allegations of sexual assault by Jeffrey Epstein 3 years before they were eventually revealed. An insider at ABC told the New York Post on Tuesday that the company is looking through employees' emails and interrogating staff to figure out who leaked the video. Those investigating the leak report all the way back to ABC News' parent company, according to the source. Oh, so they go all the way back to Disney, huh? I guess Disney has a whole lot to hide in this escapade, right? They don't want this kind of stuff getting out. You run theme parks for kids, and your media station was covering up for the most prolific pedophile at the very least of our lifetime. That doesn't look too good, especially come time for the old board to meet up and talk about profits and whatnot, right? The investigation comes after CBS fired Ashley Bianco for making the clip. Bianco claims she did not leak the clip herself, and a person purporting to be the leaker penned a letter under the name Ignotus stating that they were the one who leaked the video and not Bianco. So just a quick recap. Supposedly Ashley Bianco leaked the clip, recorded the clip, blah, 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 according to ABC. And she left that company, and like 4 days into her new job at CBS, ABC contacted CBS and said she was the leaker, when in fact she really wasn't. So with ABC contacting CBS, they fired her because they said that she was involved in that Amy Robach leak, when in reality she was not. They're freaking out over the Harry Potter reference. Does this mean the leaker is a Potter fan, likely one of the younger staff members who work on the overnight shift? Or is the leaker citing Latin, which means he or she could be an older member of staff? I mean, how many young producers speak Latin these days? The ABC Insider said about the leaker's pen name. The ABC Insider. I wonder who the ABC Insider is, right? And as far as reading into Ignotus, the name, I do not lean towards a Harry Potter reference, but I could be wrong there, obviously. I think that it is a Latin reference, and I think it's somebody being very coy. The video leak from ABC News shows Robach talking about how she had it all in regards to the Epstein story. "I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air." The leaker ripped into ABC News' response to the leak, saying they had spun it into a mission of seek and destroy. "Innocent people that have absolutely nothing to do with this are being hunted down as if we are all sports," the letter said. So, basically, they're playing, I guess ABC has their own version of, like, Hunger Games going on. If they even think that you aren't fully locked into what the narrative is at one of these mainstream outlets, you're done. You're donezo. You're done. You're at the very least voted off the island, right? Nobody's going to associate with you. Nobody's going to share tips with you. Nobody's going to want to work with you. Why? Because the bosses all hate you. There's no point in anybody working with you at that juncture. Time to just pack it in, and that's what they do. So it's pretty crazy to see what's going on to this Ashley Bianco girl, and the way ABC and CBS were in cahoots to get her fired, all because of a leak that she didn't even have anything to do with as far as leaking the actual tape to Veritas. Our second article, we're going to talk about somebody we haven't talked about in a little while. Our good friend Lady G. Maxwell. We all know who she is, right? Jeffrey Epstein's accused procuress. I mean, come on, let's call it what it is. She was involved with Epstein. She was the one that brought him into the circle. She was the one who had the original contacts with the intelligence agencies. She is, in my humble opinion, she is just as guilty as Epstein and most of this nonsense. And she really needs to be brought to justice at the very least. She needs to be subpoenaed and brought in and questioned by the FBI. I mean, if they're not too busy chasing down Ukrainian calls and stuff like that. I know that they're really busy doing that and tapping other Americans' phone calls and unmasking Americans and, not solving the Las Vegas murders, the Las Vegas shootings, that kind of stuff. They're very busy people. Anyway, let's hop into this article. The headline is, Jeffrey Epstein accuser Ghislaine Maxwell made death threat after she reported abuse. Jeffrey Epstein accused procuress Maxwell issued a chilling death threat to one of his accusers after she reported Epstein to police, according to one of 3 new lawsuits filed Tuesday against the dead pedophile's multi-million-dollar estate. Alright, so we have Lady G here allegedly threatening witnesses, threatening survivors. Alright? But that's no big deal. Just, you can't take these survivors' word for it, all right? They don't have all kinds of evidence like they did in the Kavanaugh case or anything. I mean, these young ladies, they don't have any receipts. They didn't, they don't have pictures. They don't have times. They don't have dates. They don't have people that corroborate their stories. Nah, none of that. In her suit, Maria Farmer said she was an aspiring artist when she was recruited at the age of 26 by Epstein and Maxwell at an art opening in New York in 1995. Farmer said the perv and his gal violently sexually assaulted her in the summer of 1996 while she was working on an art project at Epstein's guest house on the Ohio estate of Victoria's Secret chief Les Wexner, the court papers say. So if you go back to the episode, Les Wexner makes the Washington Post, and that whole entire episode is about this whole case with Maria Farmer and what supposedly happened on his property. So it's a long-form show. It's about an hour long. Lee and I discuss it. So if you want to learn a little bit more, going a little bit more in depth on that whole situation, go ahead and make sure you download that episode as well. Wexner's security personnel held Maria against her will and did not let her leave for several hours, even after she pleaded with them and told them about her assault, the suit alleges. So think about this, right? You're a security guard. You work on for some rich person on their huge parcel of land. It's basically a compound, right? He has his own small military, basically. Imagine being this person, knowing you have a wife, knowing you have daughters, sisters. A girl comes to you and even if it's just she alleges that this took place, you don't take that seriously? You keep her there against her will? What sort of disgusting human being are you? Whoever was involved in that security detail should seriously be ashamed of themselves and should seriously be... They should have to answer some questions as well. See, this is what I'm talking about with the enabling. All around him, people enabled him. All around these rich people, they have people that enable them to do the things that they do, and there's never any repercussions. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Go ahead and get yourself involved with somebody who gets wrapped up in RICO, though. Go ahead, me or you, go get yourself wrapped up in some sort of illegal gambling operation and see what happens. See if you don't do 9 years in federal prison. See what happens. After returning to New York, Farmer went to police and a Vanity Fair reporter. Then Maxwell made a series of menacing phone calls threatening her career and then her life, according to the papers. So just think about that. Maxwell was so confident and so cocky and so sure that nothing could happen to her that she had the audacity to threaten someone's life. Was it because of her money? Was it because she was protected? Was it because of both of those things? Maxwell again called Maria to threaten her, but this time threatened her life. I know you go to the West Side Highway all the time. While you're out there, just be really careful because there are a lot of ways to die there, the suit said. So basically, better get in line, you better shut your mouth, or you might get pushed in front of a bus. I don't know if you're familiar with the West Side Highway. If you've been to Manhattan, it's a very, 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 very busy place. A lot of, like she said, there's a lot of ways for you to have an accident, and we all know that a lot of people seem to have accidents around them, huh? But isn't it ironic that Mr. Epstein himself suffered from a quote-unquote suicide? Farmer said she also witnessed firebrand attorney Alan Dershowitz at Epstein's Upper East Side mansion on a number of occasions, going upstairs with young girls who were there. All right, so it's not just Virginia Roberts saying that Alan Dershowitz is a sicko, right? Now we have Maria Farmer saying the same thing. Maria Farmer saying that he went upstairs with a number of young girls. Why would Dershowitz be chilling with a guy like Epstein? Why would he be defending Epstein the way he did? And why would he be trying to get the plea bargain that he got? Look, we need answers from Mr. Dershowitz for sure. You know, he can run around and he can, go on all these news stations and he can try and defame Virginia Roberts and he can, talk about the whole entire impeachment nonsense. But really, buddy, what you should be talking about is, do you have receipts? These girls have receipts. Now we have two people saying this about you. It's not just, that's not baseless innuendo anymore. It's not just baseless rumor. Now it's something that needs to be discussed, right? If we're using the same standards that were used for Brett Kavanaugh, then this is, we're living in a new world. We're living in a new world, and the new set of standards must be upheld, right? Maxwell's lawyer declined to comment, while attorneys for the executors of Epstein's estate did not respond to requests for comment. Dershowitz categorically denied that Farmer could have seen him in Epstein's house, saying she terminated her relationship with the financier before he began representing him. It's so flimsy. It's just like with Andrew. The fat fingers, no way that could be a picture with me and him that wasn't staged. Come on. I'm a royal. Why would I be involved in any of that? It's the same with Dershowitz. I'm a high-profile attorney. I would never be involved in any of this. Or is it, you knew you can get involved with this because you know how to navigate the legal system, the two-tier justice system, to your benefit? I'll leave that up to the audience to decide. And until there's a trial, people are going to have opinions, Mr. Dershowitz, the same way you have an opinion of Miss Roberts. Well, we have an opinion of you. It's impossible. It's impossible chronologically that she could have seen me, said the Harvard law professor, adding he planned to ask Judge to sanction her attorney, David Boies, and strike the perjurious paragraph. Farmer filed suit Tuesday alongside co-accusers Annie Farmer, her younger sister, and Teresa Helm. All three women are seeking damages from Epstein's $577 million estate, citing battery and emotional distress. They are all being represented by Boies, who is embroiled in his own legal battle with Dershowitz. Well, that's definitely another twist and turn for this case, because we know Dershowitz and Boies have been just at each other's throats, right? And the Roberts case was just another layer to that. And now you have this other suit with these other gals that are making these allegations, and once again we have another collision course of David Boies and Alan Dershowitz, it looks like. In her suit, Annie Farmer said she was molested by the hedge fund manager at a New York movie theater when she was 16 years old, and that the abuse continued when Epstein and Maxwell flew her to his New Mexico ranch. Oh, man. It's just over and over, right? The same stories. We hear the same stuff over and over, the same MO, the same thing. These 16-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls, they get flown to this place, flown to that place. They get, Epstein acts like he's going to show them the world, and at the same time what they're doing is the old groom, just like all of these sickos, grooming them to do exactly what they want, when they want, how they want, and to think everything's okay with it. And that's what happens. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. Farmer said Epstein took an interest in her after her older sister Maria began working for him. That sounds completely logical. That was Epstein's MO for sure. He would be invited into the circle, and then from there he would weasel his way in, get his claws in these young girls, take them to wherever he wants to take them, and do to them what he used to do to them. Epstein and Maxwell flew Farmer to New Mexico after Epstein lied to the girl's mother, telling the woman he was sponsoring an event for high school students at his New Mexico ranch, according to the suit. Okay. Again, as a parent, I just don't understand how you could let your child fly with anybody. I don't care how rich they are, go anywhere with anybody if you don't know them. You don't have a chaperone, you don't have a family member that could have went with this poor girl. I guess you could argue that it was her sister that was supposed to protect her, but even then, who I mean, it's crazy. I don't even understand honestly how we see it over and over in this case with people letting their children go with these people. It was in New Mexico that the pair repeatedly assaulted the teen, the papers say. Now this is very important. She's not only accusing Epstein, who is dead, she's accusing Maxwell as well. So now we have these allegations out in the public, and why is it just a civil suit? I don't want to hear any kind about statute of limitations. They'll find a way, right? The government finds a way. If they're looking to put somebody in prison, they will find a way. So do your job, District of New York, whoever is in charge of this portion of the case, do your job and get a prosecution. Epstein allegedly fondled Annie in the theater as he had done in New York, while Maria sat unwittingly on the other side of him before the assault continued at Epstein's ranch. That trip to the movies was followed by Maxwell giving Annie a massage and groping her nude breasts while Epstein watched. The papers allege. In her suit, Helms said she was hired by Epstein at the age of 22 as a traveling masseuse and claimed he sexually assaulted her at his UES mansion in September 2002. As Teresa was studying massage at the California Healing Arts College, this seemed like a dream opportunity, but her hopes were dashed when it quickly turned into sexual assault, the suit read. And that's the thing about Epstein, right? It wasn't just girls. He wasn't just trafficking young girls. That was his most heinous crime. But he was also sexually assaulting any woman that was working for him, basically, anyone who came in his atmosphere. He had sexually explicit little dolls carved out of his employees on a chessboard in his New York mansion, for God's sakes. The man was sick. The man was twisted. Anyone who was around him who said they didn't know who was at that mansion is lying. 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 All the art on the walls. You don't question that. You walk into your boy's apartment, your boy's house. He has some weird ass art. You don't look at your other friend and say, what is on the wall? What is this? No, everything's just cool. You don't question it. Bill Clinton in the blue dress and some heels in the Oval Office has a painting on the wall. That's just a centerpiece. That's just something to talk about. No, this dude was flossing. He was proving that he had something on very powerful people and that he could live his life any way he wanted. He did not care about anything because he knew that he was protected. Protected by the same people. The same exact people that were running the intelligence agencies that we're seeing right now that have no regard for anything. The same intelligence people that are running this insane impeachment that is going to get nowhere. It's a waste of time for everybody. These are the same people that enable these sickos. So just remember that when you're cheering these people on. In August this year, fellow accuser Jennifer Arose also filed a lawsuit against the late pedophile's estate and Maxwell, claiming Epstein raped her at this townhouse when she was just 15. All right. So, what we have here are it's more layers on top of the other layers, on top of the rabbit hole as we're deep inside of the Warren. We get more information about Maxwell, and it just makes you scratch your head and say to yourself, where is she? Why is she not being questioned? Why are there not more articles being written about her? Why is ABC wasting its time chasing down Ignotus and not chasing down Maxwell? What do they have to lose? Shouldn't they be celebrating the transparency that the whistleblower brought them? Nah. Instead, they don't even care about Maxwell. They don't care that she actually not only just procured girls like they say, but she was raping these girls, actively raping these girls according to them. And she's not in front of a judge. She's not in front of Congress. You're telling me the Congress that pulled Rafael Palmeiro and a bunch of ball players in front of them over steroids and a baseball game can't pull her, Maxwell, in front of them. No, I guess they're too busy, right? They got way too many other things to do than to protect those who put them in power in the first place. It's all a sham, folks. It's such a joke. It's so transparent. It's so So ridiculous, the game that they're playing. What they seem to forget, though, is that the actual people suffer when they play their silly games. All right, folks, thanks for joining me for this daily drop. We will be back tomorrow with another one and every day following. Hope everybody has a great night and a great day tomorrow.